Hey fellow modelers, welcome. This is Mike from Class 1 Model Works, and we have got a super announcement for you today. Something that you guys have all been clamoring for is another run, a second run of our GSC depressed center flat cars. Guys, we've got some new road names on here. We've got a couple of reruns in here, but these are all going to be really cool cars, because what we're doing with this run, we're adding a number of those details that were very road specific to each one of these cars. And by doing that, we're offering you something that you're not hopefully going to have to do anything else with. You can put it right on your road and get it ready to go. Things like load restraints and wraparound decks, Buckeye trucks, friction bearing trucks. We're going to offer all of those new things within this run. So we've got in front of us here 5 of our decoration samples to look at. So these are actual decorated samples of what these cars are going to look like. We don't have all of them, we just have 5 out of the 14 different ones that we're going to be offering. So let's take a look at each of these. First, we're going to start with the ACL, the Atlantic Coastline car, and this is car number 79100. And this is a really neat car. Basically what really jumps out at you is the striping that they had on this car that follows the contour of the deck on this. That really makes this car stand out. The other thing that we have here is we've got the roller bearing trucks on here that the car came with. We've also got the wood deck. But what we've also added in is a load restraints. So on the ACL car, their load restraints were basically a piece of bent metal that was welded to the deck. And you can see that here. So we've added those, and they filled in the deck holes on the curved section. So we've done that. We've got those filled in. We've got the load restraints, and again, the dual brakes on either end. This ACL car, I think, is going to be a favorite among a lot of the modelers out there. So again, we're limited quantities. Get yours while you can. So our next car is the Southern Pacific 500-501. What really made this car unique, especially for the Southern Pacific, they had 2 of these cars, 500-500 and 500-501. But what SP did with their cars versus the rest of everybody, SP did not put wood decks on their car. They put on welded plating that literally wrapped around the upper deck and around covered the holes that were in the curved section of the deck. So that's all metal plating, and we've done that for you. We've actually got a metal plate on the car. It also comes, we've got the ACI label and we've got the COTS label. Those are separate applied plates on here. So again, this is a really cool car. It's got the GSC roller bearing trucks under it, the dual brake stands on either end, and all the other things that you've come to expect from our first run of cars. So that Southern Pacific car, it's going to go fast. Again, guys, limited quantities on that, so make sure if you're an SP modeler, you get your order in for these very quickly. Our next car up is our Delaware and Hudson model. This is the Delaware and Hudson 16159. Beautiful car in the D&H red with yellow lettering on here. It basically had wood decks, and it had its load restraints out here with these small little load restraints that you can see here. They had those and the fill-in on the deck. So we've got the fill-in for the curved holes on the deck, and we've got the small load restraints on this. We've also got COTS and lube plate, and we've got return information plate on the car. These are separately applied plates on here. The thing that's really nice about this truck, we've got our new friction bearing GSC 3-axle trucks on here. So that's really, you guys asked for those the last time. We've got the 3-axle friction bearing trucks, and these are going to be on a number of our cars that, where they had them as part of the car, we're going to have them on those cars. So that's one of our new offerings with the trucks on this. So this is really neat. Again, in the red and with the yellow lettering, this car really pops. You're going to want to have this. If you're a New England model, you're going to want to have this car. All right, our next car up, our 4th car here, is our New York Central 499093. What's really nice about this car is we had great photographs to work off thanks to the Historical Society. We appreciate you guys out there. It's really helped us make a really good looking car. So what you can see here with this, the big thing about this is Buckeye trucks on this car. They're the F-36 Buckeye trucks that these cars really came from. So that's new for us, is the Buckeye truck. You guys are going to love these trucks. They're super detailed, and you're going to really, really love them. The other thing with the New York Central car, they had the wrapped wood deck. So literally that deck came all across, and they wrapped the wood down around the curves on here, and then they had their load restraints in here. The biggest thing that they had on this car was a change in the braking system. On all the other cars, we had a dual redundant braking system with an ABD valve on one end and a B relay valve on the other end. So you did an airline balance between the two so that you could brake both sets of trucks. What New York Central did that was different was they put an ABD valve in both ends that came off the airline. So they had two control valves in here, and basically they just had one brake stand on one end. They didn't have the dual manual brake stands. They had a single vertical stand with the vertical wheel on it. So that really makes this car look unique compared to the other cars. And then where the dual airlines have been on the other cars, they're not on this car. You just have the main airline that runs down the outside of the car. So this is a very classically unique car, and I think you New York Central modelers are going to love this car. It's coming in the as-delivered paint scheme with a wood deck on here, a light-colored bare wood deck, and the original kind of reddish maroon paint. Really nice. We got this paint match from the Society, so it's really good. This car is fairly accurate. I mean, not fairly, but really accurate compared to the information that we got on that. So again, thank you to the Society for that one. Beautiful car. And finally, the last of our 5 decorated sample cars is our Penn Central 766044 car. This one's really kind of unique. It's similar in setup to the New York Central car with the vertical brake stand and the ABD valves on both ends. Difference on this car is this one has literally the GSC 3-axle friction bearing trucks on it. So that's what we've got here. Again, you've got the wrapped wood deck that comes down over the curve, and the load restraints were bigger, taller, beefier ones than were on the New York Central. So literally we've got those on here for you. We've got the PC green, the jade green, and the decks were done in kind of a black creosoted wood on that, so that's what we've got for this one. Again, beautiful car, Penn Central versus the New York Central. These are ones you're going to, if you're a Penn Central modeler, I think this is a must for your collection. Also offered in this set, we're going to have a rerun of the Santa Fe 90,000 car. So if you didn't get one the first time around, we're going to have those again. Last time they sold out in about 3 weeks. So we need you, if you want one, we need you to order them right away or you may miss out again. We're also going to have a Central of Georgia car. It's going to look quite a bit like the ACL car. It's going to be black with white lettering. But on theirs, the load restraints on theirs are actually filled in on the ends. So it's kind of a solid load restraint on that. Instead of the open area underneath there, it's been closed in on the ends, the little end caps on it. So again, that's going to be a really neat car. That one's going to have friction bearing trucks on it. Again, we talked about the load resistance, and it's going to have the filled in deck holes. So that's the Central of Georgia car. We're also going to have Levi Valley for you guys out there. It's going to have just the regular wooden deck, and it's going to have friction bearing trucks on it. So it's going to look kind of like the first run trucks, but with friction bearing trucks on it. Our Louisville and Nashville car, for all you L&N fans out there, we're going to be doing number 24997 on that car. And that one is black with the yellow lettering on it. And it's going to have the filled in deck on the curve and wood deck on that. And it's going to come with roller bearing trucks. The Reading car, we're going to be doing the Reading car again. It's going to be a black car with white lettering, but the difference on this one is, where we had the great decks on the previous cars, the Reading car actually had diamond mesh over the holes, diamond mesh and a couple of plates. So we're going to redo that. We're going to be doing that car with that detail on it, and it's going to be really, really nice. I think you guys are going to really like that one. That's Reading car number 99050. Our other one, God, you Rock Island guys are going to love this because we're coming out with Rock Island 92000. This car is going to be really cool. The lettering on it is neat. Again, it's a roller bearing trucks on that and the wood deck kind of like thing. But you guys from Rock Island, you're going to love having that car for your road or for your collection. We're also going to be offering St. Louis Southwest, the SSW Cotton Belt car. Again, it'll be pretty much the same color as the SP, but it's going to have the wood decks and it's going to have friction bearings on it. So that's going to be a really neat one. Again, it'll kind of look like the original run, but it'll have the friction bearing trucks on it. We're going to be doing a UP, Union Pacific rerun, but it's not going to be quite a rerun. And the first time we did car number 50,001. In this run, we're going to be doing car number 50,000 in its original as delivered state. And in that state, it actually had the wood deck that wrapped all the way down to the center on this. So it's gonna come in, the mineral brown with yellow lettering, and it's gonna be really cool. You guys are gonna want to get that car. If you've already got the 50,001, you're gonna love getting the 50,000 to go with it. And last but not least, we're gonna be doing a Wabash car, so Wabash number 10. And this one was a request from the folks at the Wabash Society, and we're going to do that for them. It's also got a wrap down deck on it, and it's going to have the friction bearing trucks on it, and it's going to come in a kind of a lighter reddish maroon color, which we matched it up to actual paint samples that the society supplied with for us. They brought us a plate. We matched colors off of that. So it's going to be really, really neat. Guys, we're going to have 14 different road numbers and names here. Only one of each road name. You're going to want to get these because they are going to go fast. If you got any questions, you can always give us a call and ask. We'll have as much information on these on the website that we can. So go to class1modelworks.com. These are now out for pre-sale. Get yours ordered today and you'll be assured of getting one because again, we are going to have limited quantities. class1modelworks.com. We hope to see your order soon. Have a great day and happy modeling.